a retired U.S. Air Force Major General who once controlled a $2 billion classified budget and oversaw America's deepest military secrets, has vanished. William Neil McCasland disappeared from Albuquerque, New Mexico, with no explanation. But here's what makes this truly disturbing. He vanished just days after the president ordered the release of classified UFO and extraterrestrial materials.
They're real, but I haven't seen them. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Something that got a lot of attention this week. Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know?
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, the president can declassify anything that he wants to, so if you want to make an announcement.
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know illegal aliens are real.
Yeah, illegal. Only illegals.
Caroline was recently asked if aliens are real. He says they're real, but he hasn't seen them. The president's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, told Miranda Devine of the New York Post that the president has a prepared speech on this issue that he prepares to deliver at the right time. Is that true? And does the Trump administration believe aliens are real?
Well, a speech on aliens would be news to me. That sounds very exciting, though. I'll have to check in with our speech writing team. And that would be of great interest to me personally, and I'm sure all of you in this room, and apparently former President Obama, too. So we'll keep you posted on that.
I want any government agency that has an alien to bring forth the alien. Then you don't need documents. just think about that. What's the point of documents if you actually have the alien? Just bring out the alien. And until that happens, it seems to be all about who you believe and what conspiracy theory. And it feels almost like a religion at some level, where are you a believer or are you not? Are you with us or are you not? And I think bringing forth an alien would just settle that immediately.
This man ran the base tied to Project Blue Book. So what did he know? And why did he disappear right now?
A 68-year-old retired Air Force officer has been missing since February 27th in Albuquerque, New Mexico. A silver alert has been issued, and that's typically reserved for older missing people, sometimes who have health-related issues. Now, to be clear, this isn't just any missing senior citizen, no. This is Major General William Neil McCasland, a former commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory.
McCasland goes missing. According to the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office, William McCasland was last seen around 11 a.m. near his residence in northeast Albuquerque, after which he vanished without leaving a clear trail. Officials quickly issued a silver alert, which was a public notification used when an older adult with potential medical vulnerabilities goes missing and may require assistance. The alert heightened concerns for McCasland's safety and also led to a coordinated search operation across the Albuquerque area and surrounding foothills. Investigators say that McCasland left his home on foot, but they don't know the rest. They have no idea what he was wearing or where he went after he left his property. This has complicated the search, making it much harder for the search teams to narrow down the potential locations. The disappearance has raised a lot of questions because McCasland also left his personal items behind. He left his phone and other everyday devices at home, and so that means he might have left unexpectedly. But some items that he normally used for outdoor activity were missing, causing investigators to consider that he might have been going to the nearby trails or foothill areas. McCasland is a popular experienced outdoorsman who regularly hiked, ran, and cycled in the Sandia Mountains and the desert terrain outside Albuquerque. Because of this, the search teams have been checking nearby foothills and hiking areas where he usually spent his time. The search has grown into a multi-agency effort, involving the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office, New Mexico search and rescue teams, and the FBI, with investigators canvassing neighborhoods, reviewing security footage, and conducting ground and aerial searches. But this disappearance is too mysterious. There are no sightings or leads, and the authorities have found no evidence of foul play. So everyone is wondering, what exactly happened after Neil McCasland stepped out of his home on the morning of February 27th? And does this have something to do with Project Blue Book? Work at Project Blue Book. William McCasland's work in the U.S. Air Force places him at the center of one of the most important hubs in the military, tied to UFOs. He didn't serve during the original years of the U.S. government's UFO investigation program, but he led the military base, and it seems that he knew more than he let on. McCasland served as the commander of the Air Force Research Lab at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, one of the most important centers for aerospace research and advanced defense technology in the U.S. military. In that role, he managed a science and technology portfolio that was worth roughly $2.2 billion, along with billions more in externally funded research and development programs. The AFRL oversees a wide range of research areas, including space systems, propulsion technologies, advanced materials, and next-generation defense systems. These programs support the development of future aircraft, satellites, and other strategic military technologies. Because of the classified nature of many of these projects, the lab is one of the most secretive research environments under the Air Force. But this place is more intriguing than you might think. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base was the headquarters of Project Blue Book, the U.S. military's official study of UFOs during the Cold War. Project Blue Book operated from 1952 until it was shut down in 1969. During that time, investigators analyzed 12,618 UFO sightings, trying to determine whether the objects were made of unknown technology or posed a national security threat. Most sightings were explained as natural phenomena or conventional aircraft, but 701 cases remained officially unidentified when the program ended. McCasland's command of AFRL at Wright-Patterson placed him within the same institution where the U.S. Air Force conducted its official UFO investigations. So, many are speculating if he has been exposed to classified aerospace data, including information related to UFOs. McCasland hasn't admitted to participating in the UFO investigations tied to Project Blue Book, but his sudden disappearance has attracted the attention of the FBI, and some suspect that this might be because he is holding military secrets, or even worse, UFO details that the Pentagon has been keeping from us. FBI investigates.
We're back with the FBI now joining the search for a retired Air Force general who was once in charge of a base associated with UFO conspiracy theories.
On March 6, 2026, the investigation into the disappearance of retired U.S. Air Force Major General William McCasland became more intense as the FBI formally joined the search effort in Albuquerque. Although the local authorities had already launched a large-scale search after McCasland vanished from his residence, the fact that the FBI is involved shows how concerned the Pentagon is about this case. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office is leading the investigation and confirmed that it is working closely with the FBI and other partner agencies to track down leads and determine what happened after McCasland stepped out of his home that morning. Ever since McCasland disappeared, there has been no contact with family, friends, or authorities. Despite the extensive searches of many neighborhoods, foothills, and hiking trails, officials say they have no idea where he went or what happened after he left the residence. The FBI's involvement brings additional investigative resources, including advanced technology, digital forensics capabilities, and intelligence coordination with federal partners. Authorities have also asked residents in the area to review and submit home security camera footage that might show McCasland moving through nearby streets or heading toward surrounding terrain. The case has been called a grave national security crisis. After all, McCasland worked in the U.S. defense industry for decades, which means that he had access to highly sensitive military research and classified technological programs. If the speculation is true, that means that he also holds information about the Pentagon's UFO findings, and some suspect that he might even be carrying classified data about the infamous Roswell incident that happened in 1947. McCasland's career has attracted attention from UFO researchers mostly because of where he worked. Since he was the commander at Wright-Patterson, he oversaw some of the U.S. military's most advanced aerospace and defense research programs. And if there's one incident that's connected to this place, it's the 1947 Roswell incident. There are claims that the debris recovered from the Roswell crash site was transported to Wright-Patterson for analysis. Many suspect that McCasland personally handled this material and that he was exposed to classified information connected to UFOs and the Roswell incident. The Roswell incident started in early July 1947 near Roswell, New Mexico, when rancher William Brazel discovered unusual debris scattered across his property. The debris field included lightweight metallic materials, rubber fragments, and sticks arranged in a pattern that resembled a kite or balloon apparatus. Brazel quickly reported the find to local authorities, and personnel from the nearby Roswell Army Airfield were sent to recover the wreckage. And that's when the investigation became intense. On July 8, 1947, the military at first issued a press release and claimed that it had recovered a flying disc. You can imagine the IQB widespread frenzy this triggered, covering national headlines and fueling speculation that the U.S. had found a crashed UFO. Within hours, military officials reversed that claim and instead said that the debris came from a weather balloon. Since the U.S. Air Force changed its explanation, it triggered decades of debate. Some claimed that the materials recovered from the crash were unlike any known aircraft debris. In fact, these were not anything humans had made. Others claimed that the bodies were recovered from the crash site. These claims confirmed the fact that the government was definitely concealing evidence of extraterrestrial technology. Decades later, the U.S. Air Force conducted formal reviews of the event. In a 1994 report, investigators concluded that the debris recovered in 1947 most likely comes from Project Mogul, a classified program that used high-altitude balloons to detect Soviet nuclear tests during the early Cold War. Still, the Roswell incident is one of the most enduring mysteries in UFO history. To make the investigations into McCasland even more mysterious, there were leaked emails from 2016 which linked him to UFO research and projects. Leaked emails from 2016. In October 2016, a massive leak of emails from the account of John Podesta, the chairman of Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign, brought unexpected attention to the retired McCasland and his possible connection to discussions about UFOs. The emails were released by WikiLeaks after Podesta's account was compromised in a cyber attack that U.S. intelligence agencies attributed to a Russian-linked hacking group. Among the thousands of messages published, there were several exchanges between Podesta and Tom DeLonge, the former Blink-182 guitarist who had become an outspoken advocate for UFO research. DeLonge was communicating with Podesta about efforts to push for greater government transparency regarding UFOs. In one of the emails, DeLonge referenced McCasland directly. He called him an important figure involved in discussions about UFO-related PR projects. He actually wrote that McCasland had previously been in charge of the lab at Wright-Patterson, and that the retired general helped assemble his advisory team. It's clear that McCasland was involved in the UFO investigations longer than we know. The message suggested that DeLong had been working with McCasland for several months while attempting to organize a group of advisors and experts interested in exploring the UFO phenomenon. According to the emails, the goal of these discussions was to bring together scientists, government officials, and researchers to examine what information might eventually be released to the public. The emails surfaced during the heated 2016 presidential election campaign, and it quickly spread across media and online communities focused on UFOs. After all, it's exciting that a retired Air Force general was involved in conversations about UFOs. That must mean that he was involved in the investigations into UFOs, more than they ever wanted us to know. More questions about McCasland's disappearance are coming out now, and the timing is unusual because Trump just announced his plans to declassify UFO/UAP materials. Trump declassifies UFO materials.
The Pentagon says it will work with other agencies to fulfill President Trump's directive to release files related to extraterrestrial life and unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs.
On February 19, 2026, President Donald Trump announced that he would direct the Pentagon, the Department of Defense, and other federal agencies to start identifying and releasing all the government files related to UFOs, UAPs, and extraterrestrial life. Trump made the announcement on his social media platform, showing tremendous interest in the topic and saying that this was a plan to increase transparency and public access to long-held records. Trump's comments came along with public fascination after former President Barack Obama's remarks about aliens. Obama said he could not confirm whether extraterrestrial life had visited Earth, but said that the universe's vastness made life elsewhere statistically likely. Trump responded by saying that he didn't know if aliens were real, but that he would try to get Obama out of trouble by declassifying relevant government files. The announcement attracted headlines, although no specific classified documents have been released to the public yet. Insiders say that Trump's team is in the process of identifying the files, and they require rigorous processes like interagency review, security redactions, and adherence to the existing classification law. Before Trump, the Pentagon previously released videos of UAPs that had been leaked before, and they confirmed that those videos were authentic imagery from U.S. military aircraft. The three most well-known are FLIR-1, Gimbal, and Go Fast. These videos, captured in 2004 and 2015, show infrared footage of objects maneuvering in ways that conventional explanations have struggled to definitively account for, and they helped spur formal government tracking of UAP encounters. Although the Pentagon has been unable to identify those objects in the videos, they confirm that this isn't faked, but a real video. The pilots faced these UFOs right in the air, but some suspect that the disappearance of this UFO expert isn't about this release, but might be related to foreign countries like China and Russia. Possible foreign involvement. Although authorities have found no evidence of foul play in his disappearance, some have speculated about the possibility of foreign intelligence interests because of McCasland's long career overseeing highly sensitive U.S. defense programs. McCasland's military background included managing classified aerospace research and advanced technology portfolios during decades of service. This has caused some to question whether the information he might know makes him a target for foreign intelligence services. He might have been targeted by geopolitical rivals, such as China or Russia, who are known to seek access to Western defense secrets. But there's no evidence yet that shows that foreign actors are involved in his disappearance. There's no doubt that McCasland had access to classified national defense work, and so if he is targeted, his knowledge might end up falling into the wrong hands. Those conversations also cover the issues about UFOs and whether anyone is targeting this information, causing him to be missing. Local law enforcement and federal officials have continued to emphasize they are treating McCasland's disappearance as a missing person case, not a matter of espionage or foreign abduction. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office has led the effort on the ground with search and rescue teams, while the FBI's Albuquerque field office provides investigative support. Officials have canvassed neighborhoods, reviewed home security footage from hundreds of local residences, and deployed aerial and ground units, all without uncovering any signs that McCasland was taken by another person or organization. But many are wondering whether his family might know something about the UFO and classified military information he might be holding. Well, they say there's nothing like that. Family says no UFO knowledge. Once McCasland went missing, many suspected that this might be because of his UFO connections, but his wife, Susan McCasland Wilkerson, has taken the unusual step of publicly countering claims that her husband possessed any secret knowledge of extraterrestrial phenomena or classified alien materials when he vanished. She said that the only thing her husband did was to have a limited, unpaid consulting role after he retired with UFO advocate Tom DeLonge, working on technical and scientific aspects of creative projects. But she emphasized that this post-retirement work didn't involve access to classified government files, and he also didn't have any special insights into UFO recoveries. She also told media outlets that McCasland didn't have special knowledge about extraterrestrial bodies or debris from events like the alleged Roswell crash, and that speculation about such things is misleading and unhelpful to the search. Some also suspected that he simply got lost and confused, especially since he is an elderly man. But McCasland is physically fit and mentally sharp according to his family and loved ones. He usually cycled long distances and was active in outdoor pursuits. A week before he disappeared, he completed a 60-mile bike ride, and there were no signs of cognitive decline or serious health issues, aside from the fact that he takes routine medication. Looking at his character, medical condition, and routines, it's strange that he vanished without leaving contact or clues. Was he taken by aliens instead? Well, his shocking disappearance reminds us of the time when Frederick Valentich suddenly disappeared after seeing something he should never have seen. Frederick Valentich, disappearance. On October 21, 1978, a routine training flight over southern Australia turned into one of the most mysterious disappearances in aviation history. Frederick Valentich, a 20-year-old pilot, took off from Moorabbin Airport in Melbourne in a rented Cessna 182L aircraft, planning to fly across the Bass Strait to King Island. The weather was clear, visibility was good, and Valentich had logged around 150 hours of flying experience. What began as an ordinary night flight would end with a chilling radio transmission and the unexplained disappearance of both the pilot and his aircraft. Valentich departed at 6:19 p.m. local time and reached the area near Cape Otway about 40 minutes later. At 7:06 p.m., he contacted Melbourne Air Traffic Control and asked a routine question, whether there were any other aircraft flying below 5,000 feet in the area. Controllers responded that no known traffic was present in that airspace. Moments later, Valentich reported something unusual. He told controllers that a large aircraft was flying above him, about 1,000 feet overhead. Over the next several minutes, his transmission described an object that seemed to be metallic and moved erratically around his plane. Valentich said the craft seemed to circle him and was traveling at speeds he couldn't identify. The conversation quickly became tense. Valentich said the unknown object seemed to be playing some sort of game, repeatedly passing over his aircraft. At one point, he said his engine was running roughly, making him even more concerned. Air traffic control continued communicating with him as he tried to maintain course toward King Island. At 7:12 p.m., Valentich delivered one of the most haunting lines in aviation history. Speaking over the radio, he said, "That strange aircraft is hovering on top of me again. It's not an aircraft." Seconds later, the transmission was replaced by 17 seconds of open microphone noise, described as metallic scraping sounds. Then, the signal went silent. Air traffic control immediately lost contact with the aircraft. Valentich never issued a distress call, and no further radio communication was ever received. Authorities launched a large search operation involving aircraft and ships, scanning thousands of square kilometers of ocean over several days. Despite the extensive effort, no wreckage, debris, or trace of Valentich or his plane was ever found. Now everyone is wondering if this would be the case with McCasland. Would he also be missing forever? Or would he turn up like the case with Travis Walton? Let's know your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.